with academia. I'm your host, Richard Price, CEO of academia.edu, and today we are taking on quite a ride through the frontiers of theoretical physics. Now, as always, let me remind you, I'm here to neutrally present the work. These are not my opinions or endorsements, but an open exploration for all of us. And I think that's the real joy of academic research, taking in someone's vision and, well, deciding for ourselves what to make of it, right? So today's paper is Fractalon Unified Theory, FUT, Gemini Reinterpretation, Volume 5, the Consolidated Treatise, authored by Dr. Trajan Terek, a neuroradiologist and, apparently, the principal visionary behind this work, with formalization support by Gemini. Wow, there's a lot going on here, so let's break it down together, shall we? Let's start with the core question. What is the Fractalon Unified Theory, or FUT? What problem does it even attempt to solve? Honestly, it's a big one. FUT tries to present a complete, deterministic, unified model of physics that moves away from our current probabilistic universe, the quantum uncertainty, field theory, all that spooky stuff, as Einstein might say, and instead suggests everything boils down to geometric constraints and something Dr. Terek calls torsional tension. If traditional physics is a squishy mess of probability fields, FUT is more like a universe of spinning, tightly fitted gears. It's bold, but hey, so were a lot of early scientific ideas. But why does that matter? Why should you care? Well, the promise is pretty dazzling. If we truly understood the root mechanisms behind physical laws, maybe, just maybe, you could build materials with properties we haven't really imagined. Like the paper claims it's possible to create a material capable of infinite energy extraction. That's a huge claim. So, of course, stay skeptical, but open. That's the game. All right, let's pause a sec. I just realized, as a kid, I used to take apart my parents' alarm clock just to see the gears move. I never put it back together. It was just this pile of cogs and springs for weeks. My mum was not thrilled, but I always wondered if everything was actually gears-like underneath. Anyway, back on track. So, what is this theory actually proposing? First, it brings back a sort of ether, not the outdated mystical kind, but a very physical, cubic lattice made of spinning units called fractalons. The void isn't empty. Instead, it's filled with these fractalons, buzzing around, their rotations defining everything from gravity to light. According to FUT, all forces, gravity, electromagnetism, even nuclear forces, are just different expressions of torsional pressure as these fractalons spin and interact. Now, FUT throws away randomness by sticking with classical geometric laws. There is no uncertainty. Every physical interaction, from how light bends to why time moves forward, is a straightforward result of geometric contact and torsion in this universal lattice. It's a dramatic break from quantum mechanics. Not endorsing, just, wow, imagine how different physics education would feel if this turned out to align with reality. Let's touch on results and specifics. The paper details some big claims, like the so-called principle of precession regulation. It defines atomic stability by how symmetrically these spinning axes fit together. No hand-wavy probabilities. It's all about perfect geometric contact. Another big addition is the 8D plus 2's geometric correction for atomic structure. Basically, a fresh geometry-based take on electron shells. And I need to mention this 0 Kelvin torsional coherence concept. The authors argue that perfect materials, crystals with a particular structure, quantified by something called the coherence factor, could essentially set up energy extraction from the very fabric of space, bypassing traditional thermodynamic limits. It's a gigantic claim. Even they recognize how wild it sounds, but imagine, as always, every leap forward in theory is also a leap into uncertainty. FUT claims it can re-explain classical illusions like the double slit experiment, gravitational attraction, even why the Michelson-Morley experiment didn't detect ether wind, all within its framework. All these mysteries just pop into clarity through perfect geometry and torsion. But look, I can't stress this enough. I'm presenting all this neutrally. The viability and experimental verification of FUT are giant question marks. That's science. Academia is full of ideas, each one a possible stepping stone or a dead end. The important thing, maybe the only thing that matters for you listening, is how these provocations might open up new angles of thinking, new discussions, maybe even a bit of fire to look at the universe with fresh curiosity. After all, nothing in academia is settled truth. It's all open to challenge. So, as we wrap up, Did Fractalon unified theory just unlock the secrets of the cosmos, or is it a detour on the road to something deeper? Only time and a lot of tests will tell. Thanks for joining me on In Depth with Academia. Stay curious, keep asking questions. Talk to you next time.